لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. نعم. Can we hear Abu Ja'far? Can we hear Abu Ja'far's reading? لابد ارفع صوتك وكن أوضح مما كنت.
الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وآله وصحبه وسلم. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. اللهم اغفر لنا إخواننا وشيخنا وذلك آمين. قال الشيخ وحيد رحمه الله تعالى ولا شك أن الجاهل بذكر الفتن يقول في فتنة أراه بسكينة الإمام لها وقد اشتد علينا موت من قومه موت وبشار الموت فتقربه إلى ولا يدرك سلامة هذه الإيام حتى تقوم من الغرقى وعن ذلك الرسول ولذا قال السلف الفتنة إذا أقبلت عرفها الخيلاء وانغمس فيها الشهوات وإذا أثرت عرفها الشهوات. يقول الطبيب بن عبد الله عليه رحمه الله إن الفتنة إذا أقبلت تشبهت وإذا أثرت تبدلت. ويقول الطبيب رحمه الله تعالى إن هذه الفتنة إذا أقبلت عرفها كل عالم وإذا أثرت عرفها كل جاهل. وقال الشعب رحمه الله تعالى في الصلاة يقول البخاري رحمه الله تعالى وقال ابن عيينة عن قلبه ابن حاتم كانوا يستحبون أن يتوسل في هذه الأبيات عند الفتن. أول القلب الحق أفضل ما تقول مسيرة تسعى بسنتها بكل جهنم حتى إذا اشتعلت وشق ضوءها وإلى سبيلا غير ذات حديد شرطاها ذكرا لونها وتغيرا مغلوبة في الشرط والتقديم فقل فيه أن تكتب أولها يعني وقل فيه وعقولها أفضل فيه. وأفضل الأصل في هذا اشتباه على خلاف العلم الذين لم تربط أقدارهم فيتبلغون بالفتنة فلا يصلحوا ما يفسدون ولا يلتزمون بالفتن ولا يقولون لأهل العلم مما يوقع كثيرا من الناس البشيرة إلا يحدثهم في الفتنة ويقول في حينها ويعلم أن الفتنة مثل ما يهينها في الصلاة. الأول والقصد بحسب فكلة الغير الخفيف الراجح في العلم. والثالث والقصد بالتكليف يريد شر في المسلمين ولا يحتمل بذلك إلا غير الفقه الفتن الذي بينت عليه الأدلة وظهره سلف الأمة. وإذا أحببت أن أقول محاضرة عن فقه الفتن وسنجعلها على مواعظ ومواعظ ذلك الكبير تأتي بقريب إليه إقرار وجود واحد إن شاء الله متجنبا للإنشاء الممكن فأقول وبالله التوفيق.
جزاك الله خيرا. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. The author of our book, Fiqh Al-Fitan, Shaykh Sulayman Ar-Ruhayli, Hafizahullah, was telling us about how important it is for us to learn about how to conduct ourselves in the times of trial. How does a Muslim conduct himself in the times of fitnah? That is the essence of this work that he did, Fiqh Al-Fitan. And he was saying that, وَالْمَعْلُومْ أَيُّهَا الْإِخْوَةِ, if you go backwards a little bit, you say, what is well known, oh brothers, and the women who will be there, أننا نعيش زمنا, says we are living in the times when كثرت فيه الفتن, when we have a lot of trials amongst the Muslims. واشتد جهل كثير من الناس بفقه الفتن, and many of the people have very deep levels of ignorance regarding the ruling regarding a Muslim in the times of fitan. مما جعل كثيرا من شبابنا, and that ignorance has made a lot of our young people وإخواننا and our brothers يتساقطون في الفتن. They have been repeatedly and variously falling into fitan. ويكونون وقودها, many of the brothers have become the fuel, people with which fitan are fueled. وقاد بعض طلاب العلم, وقاد بعض طلاب العلم إلى أن يولدوا من فتنة صغرى فتنا كبرى. That same ignorance has led some of the students of knowledge إلى أن يولدوا من فتنة صغرى فتنا كبرى, from a minor fitna, from a fitna that is perhaps the fitna of an individual regarding himself and his brother. Fitnatul insan bil insan, fitnatul insan bi ahlihi, fitnatul insan ma'a jarihi, the fitna of an individual with his neighbor, the fitna of an individual with his wife. When the students of knowledge begin to agitate the fitna, it became fitan that now has to do with the large majority of the Muslims. بل قد يولدون من غير فتنة فتنة. You even find some of the students, they themselves will create a fitna when there is no fitna. They themselves will start a fitna. I've heard someone saying once, everywhere appears silent. Let us start something that people will talk about. So someone will look for something, he will start it, he will send it on the social media, people begin to respond, and then there will be counter responses here and there, and then the insults will begin to become traded from this angle, from that angle, the reputation, this. So they will be jubilated, mashallah, mashallah. قد يولدون من غير فتنة فتنة. So the Shaykh says, Hafizahullah, mimma ashgalahum am muhimmatihim. This kind of a situation got them busy from things that are important to them. Min talabil ilm, such as actually facing their studies, facing your nahwu and sarf, facing your kitab al-tawheed, facing your nukhbatul fiqh, facing the rest of the books that you need to study basically as a talibul ilm. People abandon this and then they start a fitna. It's all about jarh wa ta'dil now. Yes, jarh wa ta'dil is in the religion and it will be there till the end of time. But it's hard to speak it. It's hard to speak it. I always say this, it's like saying that there should be auditing of accounts. Is it every accountant that can audit an account? Not to say someone who has not studied accountancy at all. He just went to the next to read a few things about how accounts are audited. He sees himself like the one who can audit an account. Reading about the principles, as they call it on the next, principles of jarh wa ta'dil. It does not make you a person who starts becoming to speak about jarh wa ta'dil. Because these matters are very, very delicate matters, regarding whom even which some of the scholars are not allowed to speak regarding it. When they speak about it, the scholars will not accept their statement. It now becomes something regarding which every talibul ilm, every talibatul ilm, everybody thinks he has a say. I'm talking about jarh wa ta'dil, I'm talking about these. These are big issues regarding which only the very learned and well-grounded amongst the scholars are allowed to speak about. It became something regarding which everybody is talking about. It's like asking a first or second year medical student who has read about anatomy to now deliver a woman that has siamese twins inside her. How is that? But he has read anatomy. He perhaps knew how Siamese twins are formed. He has read about it. So he should be able to carry out the surgery. Abi? No. We know that he will be committing an act of murder if he actually does that. How then do you think reading 2-3 pages of translated work regarding Jarh wa Ta'dil makes you now become someone who will be talking about Jarh wa Ta'dil? If a part 1, 2, 3 medical student cannot, after reading about anatomy and biochemistry, cannot surgically operate a woman and deliver her of a baby, even when it is not a Siamese thing, even not a Siamese. It's a long thing for a medical student to be able to operate someone and deliver that person of a baby. How then do you say that you have to be talking about Jarh wa Ta'dil? And Jarh wa Ta'dil that the people are talking about is stronger in its consequence than delivering a woman of a baby. Because when you deliver a woman of a baby, you just kill her in this dunya. But when you give someone a Jarh when he's not due for a Jarh, or you kill him in this dunya, you almost kill his hereafter. So it is something that we all should be careful about. So some of these things will start a fitna itself when there is no fitna. So it becomes that the students become busy away from learning, wa da'wah. They become busy away from making da'wah itself. How long have we had, like we mentioned in the last class, we say, oh, do we hear something like that? Those people who are at Itagbangba, they don't need the da'wah to sunnah. Why not pay your attention to explaining the basics of sunnah? So that even the one who has wrong ideas about the sunnah in himself, he can get corrected as a result of that. Why not pay attention to this? But you pay attention to expelling the person. This one is not a person of sunnah. You expel him. Your knowledge is not up to that. That is what we are saying. And when you start doing that, you start fitna in the community. May Allah protect us. وَأَكْثَرَ الْخِلَافَ بَيْنَهُمْ. That same absence of knowledge about how to deal with fitna has caused a lot of difference amongst the people. وَلَا شَكَ أَنَّ الْجَاهِلَ بِفِقْهِ الْفِتَنِ. There is no doubt that the one who has no knowledge about the fiqh of fitan يَكُونُ فِي الْفِتْنَةِ كَرَاكِبِ السَّفِينَةِ. He will be inside the fitna like a person who يَرْكَبُ السَّفِينَةِ is on a boat لَا رُبَّانَ لَهَا, and that boat has no captain. وَقَدْ اشْتَدَّ عَلَيْهَا مَوْجٌ, and there is a lot of waves, turbulence upon this ship that this person is riding on. فَوْقَهُ مَوْجٌ. On top of that turbulent wave, there is other turbulent waves. يَغْشَاهُ مَوْجٌ. That second degree of waves are also covered in another serious wave. If you travel on an ocean, you know what I'm talking about. I have traveled on an ocean twice. Fortunately or unfortunately, we traveled on a boat, on a speedboat. So we are seeing the ocean like this. You know how a child can carry a football and throw the ball. You know how children can carry a ball and throw a ball? That is how the waves of an ocean can carry a speedboat and throw. Push it ahead or push it behind or push it wherever. In the Atlantic. So when someone is there and then there is no one controlling the boat, how is that boat? You are in such a difficult situation and the boat does not have a captain. It does not have anybody controlling it. That is why the Shaykh says, تَتَقَاذَفُهُ الْأَمْوَاجِ تَتَقَاذَفُهُ الْأَمْوَاجِ. That boat without a captain becomes thrown all around by the waves. وَلَا يَدْرِي. That person riding on that kind of a boat, لَا يَدْرِي السَّلَامَةَ فِي أَيِّ اتِّجَاهٍ. He wouldn't know from which angle will I be saved. He would not know. Hatta he will be like that. يَكُونَ مِنَ الْغَرْقَةِ. He may be amongst those who will drown and become destroyed in that boat. وَإِنْ نَجَى. If Allah counts him amongst those who will be saved from Akhdush, you find all parts of his body will be injured. The Shaykh says, Hafizahullah, وَلِذَا, that is the reason why قال السلف, the early Muslims would say that الفتنة إذا أقبلت, fitna إذا أقبلت, when it begins to approach, عرفها العلماء, the ulama will recognize it, that fitna lefe dalay. When the people start what they call peaceful protest, ulama will understand. This your peaceful protest, it will not end peacefully, even if you call it peaceful. When a child begins to do something, the elderly wants to recognize, what you are doing, it will not lead to a good end. So that's why when the fitna begins to approach, the Salaf will say that Arafaha al-ulama, the scholars will recognize that, hey, what you want to start is a big fitna. وَانْغَمَسَ فِيهَا الْجَهْمَى, but as for the rank and file of the people in Ramasu, Yangomisu, they will become consumed inside it. وَإِذَا أَدْبَرَتْ, but when the fitna has ended, and it begins to turn away, عَرَفَهَا الدَّهْمَى, that is when those same ignorant rank and file amongst the people begin to say, the fitna was tough, the fitna was hard, many places were burned, many people were killed. After the killing, after the burning, after the fitna, the rank and file begin to recognize it. But at the beginning of it, the ulama will say, hey, this is fitna. This is fitna you want to start. This fitna will not end well. Ulama. But at Duhama, the rank and file of the people, ignorant people, they don't know anything until after the fire, after the flames have quelled. They brought in fire service to quell the fire. That is when ignorant people begin to say, the fitna was tough. The fitna was tough. Now they begin to say, don't burn Lagos down. Lagos belongs to us. We are already burning our buses. At the beginning, you should know that it can lead to that. The only people who recognize that are who? The ulama. The ulama will recognize that when about 500,000 people want to go out in the morning to their offices, and 10,000 people stand on the road and say you cannot go. It happens the first day. It happens the second day. Ulama start thinking, hey, this is your action. It cannot give birth to any other than fitna. At that time, the dahma or the duhama, they will still be chanting solidarity. Solidarity upon fitna, they are shouting. It will be interesting at that time. But the time this same young boy shouting solidarity will realize that it is trouble that he has actually started, it is after every place is already burnt down. Some of them will not realize it until they are individually arrested. When they are individually arrested. I read a report, a medical doctor who was resuscitating people was arrested. Why are you, will you be resuscitating people in a peaceful situation? If the protest was peaceful, you will not be resuscitating anybody. The girl said that she was arrested and that she noticed that even amongst those that are saying that they are protesting, there is police amongst them. You thought that the police will allow you? Of course, there will be police present. Those plain clothes and all of that. So she said that she was arrested and a number of people were also arrested after the fitna. This is just a matter of a week or 2 weeks ago. And then she started telling her experiences about it. Meanwhile, if you look at the videos at that time, may Allah protect us, you will know that these people appearing so boldly in these pictures, in these videos, in any society, the police will come after you. So why is it that it is after the incident you begin to realize that, police came after you? You should know from the beginning police will come after you. So some of the people did not realize that they were in fitan until even those who broke into people's homes. They did not know they were in trouble until they got arrested by police. Some of them were surprised. How did the police know where you stay? Don't worry about that one. Police will find you out. So then they start saying, there is no need to take more of them. So the point here is that the rank and file of the people do not recognize the fitna until at the end of the fitna. Those people who recognize the fitna from the beginning are who? The ulama. That's why they'll be warning us. Stop talking. Stop this. Stop that. Stop that. They'll be quelling it. Don't talk. Don't do this. Don't do this. Because they know where those thoughts, where those sorrows, okay, where those hashtags. They know where it is what? It is leading to. They say don't talk. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do that. Some people say no. Say your opinion. What is your take? These are our slangs now. What is your take? As if Allah has commanded you to say about everything what you think. May Allah protect us. So the ulama amongst the salaf will say, Al-fitnatu iza akbalat arafaha al-ulama. When the fitna begins to approach, the salaf will recognize it. وَانْغَمَسَ فِيهَا الدُّهَمَا. But at that time, the rank and file, I don't want to say foolish people, they will be engrossed in that fitna. وَإِذَا أَدْبَرَتْ عَرَفَهَا الدَّهْمَاء. It is when that fitna is already ending. That is when this rank and file of the people will recognize it. May Allah protect us. يقول مصرف ابن عبد الله ابن الشخير. مصرف ابن عبد الله ابن الشخير is a tabi, and his father Abdullah ibn al-Shakhir was a companion of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Is amongst the eminent tabi'un. Musarrif ibn al-Shakhir ibn Abdullah ibn al-Shakhir rahimahullah. He was mujab al-da'wah. He was among those people when they prayed to Allah, Allah accepted their dua. Musarrif ibn Abdullah ibn al-Shakhir. He said rahimahullah, inna al-fitnata iza akbalat tashabbahat. Fitna certainly iza akbalat, when it begins to approach, tashabbahat, it may not be clear, it may be unclear, it may be ambiguous. Where are we going now? It has just started. But this ambiguity is to the rank and file of the people. Otherwise, al-ulama, from the very beginning, they recognize that this is a fitna that is going to commence. May Allah protect us. So he said, inna al-fitnata iza akbalat tashabbahat, wa iza adbarat tabayyanat. But when it has ended, tabayyanat, it becomes clear. Say, look at everywhere burnt down, but they too much burnt down, so burnt down, banks were looted, and that is at the end of the fitna. But at the beginning of the fitna, people will say, oh, where are you going? Where are you saying? The people, everybody will say what he likes. But at the end, people will realize that it was actually a fitna. May Allah protect us. ويقول الحسن البصري الإمام الحسن ابن أبي حسن البصري rahimahullah, he was amongst the tabi'un. He also said, inna hadhihi al-fitnata, certainly these trials and tribulations, idha akbalat arafaha kullu alimin. By the time it is approaching, every learned person will know, say, this is fitna you want to start. May Allah protect us. Wa idha adbarat arafaha kullu jahili. It is when the fitna has gone away, that is when the juhal, the ignorant people begin to say, there was fitna. ذكره ابن سعد. Al-Imam ibn Sa'd mentioned this after of Al-Hasan al-Basri in his book At-Tabaqat. يقول البخاري رحمه الله. Al-Imam al-Bukhari رحمه الله said, وقال عيينة عن خلف ibn Hawshab. Uyayna ibn Uyayna is one of the A'imma of Islam, amongst the first persons to be referred to as Shaykh al-Islam, rahimahullah. He is Sufyan ibn Uyayna al-Hilali, rahimahullah. He reported from Khalaf ibn Hawshab. Khalaf ibn Hawshab was a tabi'i. He saw some of the companions, but he is not known to have reported hadith from the companions. But he met some companions, and he has a hadith from Kibar al-Tabi'in. So Khalaf ibn Hawshab said, كانوا يعني السلف يستحبون أن يتمثلوا بهذه الأبيات عند الفتن. The early Muslims will versify these poems when there is fitna. What is that poem? They say, قال امرؤ القيس. امرؤ القيس, a well-known poet amongst the Arabs, he will say and versify that الحرب أول ما تكون فتية. الحرب, war أول ما تكون فتية. At the beginning, It will look like a beautiful young girl. Wow. Ask the people in Liberia. Ask the people in Sierra Leone. Ask the people in Syria. At the beginning it will look like something that is interesting. Why? They will be singing songs. They will be dancing. Some people will bring food. Young guys will come there. So there will be enjoyment. Some musicians will come to sing. People will say it was sweet. We'll meet there tomorrow. May Allah protect us. Al-harbu awwalu ma takunu fatiyatan. At the beginning it will look like a beautiful young girl. Tas'a bi zinatiha li kulli jahul. A beautiful young girl, tas'a bi zinatiha. A beautiful young girl moving on the street. But this is the case li kulli jahul. For every stupid ignorant person. He is the one who will see al-harb, war, fitna as a beautiful young girl. Bi zinatiha, well dressed, moving on the street. The one who sees the beginning of a fitna like this are who? Jahul, ignorant person. Allah makafonu fora hatta idha ishta'alat wa shabba dhiramuha. Idha ishta'alat, when the flames begin to burn. Wa shabba dhiramuha. Dhiram, fuel, flame. Shabba irtafa'a. And the flames begin to show up. Fire everywhere. Bombs dropping on the heads of men and women and children. Bombs dropping in hospitals. Some people in the times of war, they'll be crying, oh, they threw a bomb in a hospital. The opposing party wants to kill everybody. You may say some people are in the hospital. When two parties are at war, the party that fires an ammunition to the second party, is he wanting you to be able to have a hospital? So where will be their first target? Your hospital. Operation Desert Storm. We know Operation Desert Storm, the first battle between Saddam Hussein and Allied forces. The first places that were shut down in Iraq were light, electricity, and water. In that war, over 500,000 children died. The first Gulf War. The first Gulf War. Over 500,000 children died. The first Gulf War. And I remember one statement I made in a lecture in Abuja at that time. I said, go and write it down. The people of Iraq will fall the US. This is the beginning of the fall of the US. We know the stage where they are now. May Allah protect all of us. So fitna, when there's fitna, when there's war, ask any soldier you find. And I have that experience. I've discussed with a soldier who fought in Sierra Leone. I've also discussed with a soldier who fought in the Ecomog in Liberia. The experiences are not sweet at all. The experiences are not sweet at all. The experiences are not sweet at all. I also spoke with a soldier, a combatant who currently, maybe he's away from there now, but he fought in the crisis in our own country against insurgents. The stories are not sweet at all. How do you find little young boys of 12, 13 years old who will call a pregnant woman and they start talking? This pregnant woman, what is she carrying? Is it a boy or a girl? Two boys will be arguing among themselves. Today a boy, today a girl. Okay, let's see what it will be. Whether you will win or I will win. And then they will open up that woman. Ask those soldiers who have fought the war. They will tell you what they saw. Things like this happened in Liberia. So this is fitna. So is that when it comes, is a sha'alat, when the flames begin to burn, وَشَبَّ ضِرَابُهَا, and the flames begin to become raised, you see the flame up. At that time, وَلَّتْ عَجُوزًا, that beautiful young girl that you thought was a young girl, وَلَّتْ, she turns to become عَجُوزًا, an old woman, غَيْرَ ذَاتِ حَلِيلٍ, an old woman that is not fit to have a husband. شَمْطَاء, her colors of the body would have changed. Black, white, green. You know old women, they have all colors on their skin. يُنْكَرُ لَوْنُهَا, her complexion is no more attractive. وَتَغَيَّرَتْ, her complexion has changed. مَكْرُوهَةً, she's now despised. لِشْتَمِّ, you don't have to even smell her. Her smell is despised. You don't want her smell. وَالتَّقْدِيرِ, you not even like to kiss her. This is what was become when it really, goes on and starts. But at the beginning, people see it like a little young girl. Everybody will be running to it. That is the meaning. When the fitness starts, at the beginning, you see people running. Hey! When the fitna really starts and the flames begin to burn, you will not hear anybody shouting, hey again. May Allah protect us. Khalaf ibn Hawshab said that the early Muslims, the Salaf, used to say this. And this is contained in Sahih al-Bukhari in Kitab al-Fitan. Bab al-Fitnati allati tamudu kamawji al-Bahri. May Allah protect us from fitan. وَقَدْ قِيلَ, it is also used to be said that al-fitanu awwaluha yagurru. Fitna awwaluha. At the beginning of it, yagurru. It is deceptive. It is deceptive. So who? So the fools and the rank and file of the people. وَقَدْ يَسُرُّ, it may even be guiding the people. Like those who, when they are invited to do a protest, they were given food. They were given 800 naira rice and chicken. That is what they used to bring them tomorrow. 800 naira rice and chicken. And you want people to walk to this dinner. And some people will cook the rice and bring it. May Allah protect us. So it may be interesting. وَآخِرُهَا حَنْظَلٌ, but the end of it is bitter. You know what is hanzal? Cucumber. Bitter cucumber. Very, very bitter. That's why he had to say murrun. Very bitter. The end of fitan is what? Bitter cucumber. The beginning, it may not be clear. Some people may even be happy at it. وَآخِرُهَا, but at the end of it, may Allah protect us. What do you see? Hanzalun murrun. Very, very bitter cucumber. وَأَخْطَرُ الْأَمْرِ فِي هَذَا, but the most dangerous thing in all of this that we are talking about, اشتباه الفتن على طلاب العلم. The most dangerous is that the طالب العلم himself does not know what to do, what to say. He becomes confused in the fitan. طالب العلم, you are the one that people will be asking what to do. Should you be confused? طالب العلم, you are the one people will be asking, what do we do? How do we handle ourselves? What is the next thing to do? Now you become confused. So the Sheikh says, وَأَخْطَرُ الْأَمْرِ, the worst of all these affairs, the most dangerous of all these affairs is that اشتباه الفتن على طلاب العلم الذين لم ترسخ أقدامهم, and those are amongst the talibul ilm that their feet are not well established. You have just read Kun Salafiyan al-Jada. You have just read Az-Rumiyya, perhaps with some books of Sarf. And then you have read perhaps Aqidah al-Sahawiyya. You have read Al-Barbahari, so you are Salafi. It does not mean that you can speak regarding these matters. It does not mean. It does not mean. So if you begin to say about it, the Sheikh says, your feet, I've read Barbahari in Aqidah al-Sunnah Jama'ah. Is there any other thing apart from Barbahari? So why is Barbahari so? There are so many things after Barbahari. So don't speak about it. Don't be the one sending information, tweeting and retweeting. So don't do it. Don't. Oh, 4 people have been killed. Okay, violence. 10 people have this. So don't do it. Don't tweet it. Don't share. Don't share. Don't advise. Keep quiet. فَيَتَكَلَّمُونَ فِي الْفِتْنَةِ. But unfortunately, those people whose feet are still only trying to stand on the ground upon the Sunnah as-Salafiyah, they begin to talk upon the Sunnah. فَلَا يُصْلِحُونَ. They will not bring about goodness. But in fact, the real thing they will do is that what? يُفْسِدُونَ. They will rather spread evil. وَلَا يَلْتَزِمُونَ فِقْهَ الْفِتَنِ. They will not stick to فِقْهَ الْفِتَنِ. تَعَلَّمَ فِقْهَ الْفِتَنِ. Did he learn Fiqh Al-Fitan? How will he stick to something that he does not know about? And there is no Fiqh Al-Fitan in Barbahari Sharh Sunnah that you have read. Labata. And here you are talking about fitna. Talibul ilm. يتكلم في الفتنة فلا يصلح بل يفسد ولا يلتزم فقه الفتن وَلَا يَرْجِعُونَ لِأَهْلِ الْعِلْمِ. Instead of saying, look, what you're asking me, ask Afal Abaja. One of the most fearful things I have ever heard as a young person while trying to learn the Sunnah was an audio. At the time it is cassette. Audio, radio cassette. I have radio cassette of Shaykh Mukbil up to 40. It is their radio we used to listen. Shaykh Mukbil. I was in Kaduna at the time. A brother recorded over 115 cassettes. I still have them till today. Shaykh Rabi al-Madkhali, Shaykh Al-Albani, Shaykh Bombab, all our shuyukh. Cassette together. See a monkey on radio by. Some people may not know it again because times have changed. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Some of these our children don't know cassette. Cassette. Is that the name you call it? Yuba. Shaykh Mukbil Al-Wadi'i, Abu Abdur-Rahman, he was asked a question. Shaykh Mukbil, if you want to call the 4 leaders amongst the scholars of Sunnah of our time, Shaykh Mukbil is number 4 of the 4. Shaykh Mukbil is the number 4 of the 4. The number 1 of the 4 is Shaykh Al-Albani rahimahullah al-Imam. The number 2 of the 4 is Shaykh Abdul-Aziz ibn Abdullah ibn Baz. The number 3 of the 4 is Shaykh Muhammad ibn Salih al-Usaymi. The 4th of the 4 is who? Shaykh Muslim. These are the people from whom, these are their own work that we were brought up upon. Albani. What a man to Albaniya at the time. We didn't know anything else about Shaykh Al-Bani, Ibn Baz, Ibn al-Usaymin, Shaykh Mukbil. He was asked in an audio, Rahimahullah, when is the time that the people can rise against constituted authority? Matter. That is, what is it that if that thing happens, then the people can rise against constituted authority? He said, this question, you cannot ask me. Go and ask Albani. Wallahi. Maybe we can look for it in YouTube, you will get it. Say, this question, I can't answer it. Go and ask Albani. He's the one who can answer that question. Shaykh Mukbil. Shaykh Mukbil. He says, I can't say. The people who can talk about things like this are our own bigger ones. Al-Albani rahimahullah. You طالب العلم هذه عقيدتنا لتنكاو. You can answer صراع فاتوا بيننا وبينكم كتب الصلاة. كتب الصلاة, those ones that you are downloading on Shamila. Let's be careful. Let's calm down. Dear. Let's calm down. Let's bring ourselves down a bit. If Shaykh Mukbil will say, this question I can't answer, go and ask Al-Albani. You are the one who is giving shurut. They say, إِلَّا أَن تَرَوْا فِي كُفْرًا بَوَاحًا لَيْسَ لَهُ عِنْدَكُمْ مِنَ اللَّهِ فِي إِبْرَاهِيمَ. You reading hadith in Sahih Muslim, so it is good for us to respect ourselves. So the Sheikh says, وَأَخْطَرُ الْأَمْرِ فِي هَذَا اشتباه الفتن على طلاب العلم الذين لم ترسخ أقدامهم فيتكلمون في الفتنة ولا يصلحون بل يفسدون ولا يلتزمون فقه الفتن لأنهم بعيدون عن العلم به. They don't know فقه الفتن, so they are far away. ولا يرجعون لأهل العلم. They will not refer the matter to the scholars. I didn't say ask me, don't ask me. And you must say, say in the camera, no, don't ask me. Don't ask me. Ask the elder. Any person who is above 60 and is a learned person, ask him. Any person above 60, 65, is a learned person, those are the people you should ask. So they say this condition, مِمَّا يُوكِعُ كَثِيرًا مِنَ النَّاسِ. When the talks are much, everybody is talking, everybody is soluble in, everybody is sheikh, everybody has read Fatawa, everybody has read Shamila, everybody has read Barbahari. This situation now brings كَثِيرًا مِنَ النَّاسِ فِي الْحَيْرَةِ. It brings a lot of people into confusion. In lam yukardithum fil fitna. If it does not hold them into the fitna, they are confused. Two groups of people. People who are confused and people who are either what completely hauled, thrown down inside the fitna. Yukardithuhum. So throw them down into the fitna. وَيَكُبَّهُمْ فِي جَحِيمِهَا. It will sink them in the fire, in the flame of the fitna, because they are getting the wrong fatwa. Do you think those people fighting as insurgents in Nigeria? The insurgents in Nigeria have been fighting for almost 10 years now. But look at the fitna today. May Allah protect us. So it can dump the people, those fatwas from young people whose feet are not well established upon the path of knowledge. Those kinds of fatwa can dump the people into confusion, and it can also dump them into the flames of the fitna. Well ma'lum, and what is well known amongst us all, anna al-fitnata is that trials and tribulations, innama yuhayyiduha finfanun. There are two groups of people who are who agitate the fitna. Two groups of people agitate fitna. Al-awwalu, the first amongst them, man qasduhu hasanun. Some people have sincere intentions, so lakinnahu ghayru faqihin rasikhin fil ilm. But he is not a faqih, he is not a learned person, rasikhin fil ilmi, whose knowledge is well established and well grounded. He is not. He is not. His knowledge is not well grounded. So during fitna, don't follow someone who will be telling you, he has to say so. It does not suffice. Where is his knowledge? Not just knowledge. Where is his rusukh upon knowledge? Where is his well groundedness upon knowledge? Where is his age upon knowledge? How old is he upon knowledge? How old is he? You think the kingdom of Saudi Arabia, they didn't know what they are doing when they say Kibarul Ulama? Kibarul Ulama. They didn't know what they are doing. Yes, you can find a young person who may be so blessed by Allah that when he is speaking, his approach to knowledge, everything about him is like those of the Kibar. But no, the second one Kibar, Allah. It won't fall from the heaven. One of those Kibar would have nurtured him, would have prepared him. You wonder who prepared Abdullah ibn Abbas? Radiyallahu anhuma. He will be prepared. A learned person does not fall down from the heaven. No. He will be prepared by another learned person. We prepare him, nurture him. Don't do this, do this, do this, do this. Learn this, read this. This is the meaning of this. This is the explanation of this. When in this situation, this is what you'll be nurtured over the years by a learned person. Go back to the history of Islam and see. Go back and see how long our scholars spent with their teachers. Sufyan ibn Uyayna that we mentioned. Abdullah ibn Zubayr al-Humaydi. Abdullah ibn Zubayr al-Humaydi, the teacher of Imam al-Bukhari, he spent about 19 years with him. 19 years with Sufyan ibn Uyayna. When he finished, he came to meet with Imam al-Shafi, rahimahullah. The people like Ibn Abdul Hakam, Imam Ibn Abdul Hakam and his father, they were all reporting the ahadith of Sufyan ibn Uyayna from Abdullah ibn Zubayr al-Humaydi. 19 years. 19 years. Belafa. And this is very common in the history of Islam. Koda, you will hardly think of yourself to be learned until your teacher will tell you, but today, once you read now and start to go to my robe, you will say, Allah! I will know the rule. That is saying, this is what the Shaykh is saying. Oh, see, it's all my fault. Can't you buy anything, sir? So there will be fitna. Oh, my son, see where it's up. The scholars will say, Laysa kullu ma yu'lamu yuqal. Wa anta taqulu. They say, Ese gbogbo nche èèyàn máa ń pa nǹkan lèèyàn máa ń sọ. Ìwọ ò ní lè tí èèyàn máa ń sọ àti èké èèyàn kì í sọ. Torí pé òun ò kọ́ ẹlẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀, ó kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀. Jàmàjàmà ojú gbádùn. May Allah protect all of us. So that a person is sincere, it does not suffice during fitna. He has to be knowledgeable and well grounded in his knowledge. Otherwise, he is among those who will be agitating the fitna. And you know what? That his sincerity will be a fitna to other people. Yeah, but he was sincere now. Sincerity also. He must be sincere and correct. If he is sincere and incorrect, that his sincerity is itself a fitna to some people. So it's not there to me one year. I want to sincere now. But control. Sincerity also. It's not sufficient to be sincere. You have to be knowledgeable and well grounded upon knowledge to be able to speak during the times of fitna. May Allah protect them. The Sheikh says, Wasani, the second group among those who agitate a fitna, man qasduhu sayyi'un, yuridu sharra bil muslimin. Those people who are just bad. You contest an election in democracy, you fail. Even in your word, you fail. You now say, no, kadaruloku. So you don't have democracy again. You say democracy, they say, okay, you are now Zakoti. Zakoti. What does Zagbele mean in English language? You say, no, democracy is the key. You want to take government from elder. Kaza. They say the constitution is open. You start your party. The man goes and starts a party. The young boy goes and starts a party. He goes around the country mobilizing for votes and membership. He starts a party. You don't have a governor. You don't have a senator. You don't have a councillor. You don't have no chairman of party. After Abiboni, power must come to the youth. So you contested an election. You hardly won an election inside your domain. Maybe inside your father's house you would have lost that election. You know why I said that? The Prophet Muhammad, he says, Man ahana sultan Allah fil ard. Any person who disgraces a person in constituted authority, ahanahullah, Allah will disgrace him. Any person, ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá yẹ̀yẹ́ tọ́lọ́run fi ṣe olórí, ọlọ́run bó yẹ̀yẹ́ òun náà. Ànábì ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. So that's why I said he might have been disgraced even inside his house. Why? The job that these young people take is the job of disgracing people in constitutional authority. It's a bad job. It's a brukunio. Okay. You contest election. You did not win the election. You hardly won even wherever you won, if at all you won anywhere. And you were voted out. Despite your campaign, despite your mobilization, despite your moving all around. Now you want to remove a constituted authority by the same democracy you claim to believe. You want to remove it by force, by revolution. Is that revolution in that constitution you are talking about? The revolution you are talking about, is it allowed in that constitution you are talking about? It is an unlawful act. Only Allah knows the number of people who died in the last protest we had in this country. May Allah protect all of us. It is fitna. So man qasduhu sayyi'u. There are some people that their intention is bad. There is no good governance until they themselves become the government. The only time that the government should be good is when they themselves, they are there. This is from tazkiyatun nafs. فَلَا تُزَكُّوا أَنفُسَكُمْ هُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنِ اتَّقَى. So how will Allah help you? If at all you are sincere, but you are not. Your actions are not showing that you are a sincere person. So the second people who agitate fitna, they are those people whose intentions are bad. يُرِيدُ الشَّرَّ بِالْمُسْلِمِينَ. They want evil with the rest of the people. وَلَا يَحْتَرِقُ بِنَارِ الْفِتْنَةِ. These are the two groups of people who agitate a fitna. The Shaykh says, وَلَا يَحْتَرِقُ بِنَارِ الْفِتْنَةِ. No one becomes burned by the fire of the fitna إِلَّا مَنْ لَمْ يَلْزَمْ فِقْهَ الْفِتْنَةِ. Except those who have not stuck to the fiqh, the Islamic rulings and etiquette and manners regarding tribulation. الَّذِي دَلَّتْ عَلَيْهِ الْأَدِلَّةِ. These guidelines in Islam at the times of fitna, دَلَّتْ عَلَيْهِ الْأَدِلَّةِ. There are clear-cut texts from the Quran and the Sunnah that point to these guidelines. وَفَهِمَهُ سَلَفُ الْأُمَّةِ. And the early Muslims, the companions and the Tabi'un, they understand those adillah, those proofs, those guidelines that the Sharia has placed for us to follow during the times of fitna. The Shaykh says, Hafizahullah, وَلِذَا أَحْبَبْتُ أَن تَكُونَ مُحَاضَرَتِي. This is the reason why I want this lecture that I'll be giving and Fiqh Al-Fitan to be about Islamic guidelines and rulings regarding Al-Fitan. وَسَأَجْعَلُهَا عَلَى قَوَائِدَ وَضَوَابِطِ. And I'm going to عَلَى قَوَائِدَ وَضَوَابِطِ. I am going to make them be upon qawaid wa dawabit. Qaida or qawaid are all-encompassing legal maxims. You can apply it here, you can apply it here, you can apply it. This qaida shar'iyya or qaida usuliyya. It will have many applications. So you can say legal maxims. Wa dawabit, guidelines regarding a particular thing. I hope that these points are clear to us. Between qawaid and what? Dawabit. It says, Salikan. While I'm explaining these basic rules, I will be following Sabil al-Ta'fil, the path of establishing the proof. Everything that I say, I will make ta'fil. That is the meaning of ta'fil. At-ta'fil is that when you speak, everything you say, you bring the proof for it. Everything you say, you bring the evidence for it. He says, this is what I'm going to follow. Al-Qareeb. And it will not be proof that you'll be looking for. They are nearby, things we already know. الَّذِي يَفْهَمُهُ كُلُّ أَحَدٍ. This proof will be understood by everybody, inshallah ta'ala. This is one of the ways of divine scholars. Godly scholars. When they speak in such a way that everybody will understand what they are saying. Rahimahumullah wa hafizahumullah. Mutajanniban al-insha' al-mursala. And I'm going to avoid Just talking, explaining, talking. I'm going to avoid that. فَأَقُولُ Therefore I say, وَبِاللَّهِ التَّوْفِيقِ Allah alone is the one who grants success. He says, Al-Aslu al-Awwal. The first Aslu, inshallah, we'll start it in the next class. So he has given us usul, qawaid and dawabit, that the Muslim will follow during the times of fitna. May Allah protect us. He gave 26 of them. He ended it at Al-Aslu As-Sadisu wal-Ishrun. 26 usul wa dawabit regarding the times of fitna. Inshallah, we'll be following them one after the other till we finish the book bi'idhnillah. May Allah make it easy for us. All what we have done are the introduction. The first thing the Shaykh said is that fitan are the things that Allah has brought to this dunya to test all of us. Fitina. Ọlọ́run ọba dẹ́dà mú fitina wá láti dán gbogbo ẹ̀dá wò. He has not brought those fitna to destroy us. No. Just like nobody sets fire upon gold to destroy the gold. When you set fire on gold, what do you want to do? You want to determine the purity of that gold and the level of the purity of the gold. So when there is fitna, Allah wants to test us. Inna biluwakum ayyukum ahsanu amala. So that those who have good deeds will be rewarded and those who have evil deeds will accordingly also be rewarded. This is the first thing the Sheikh said. And then he gave us explanations to show that fitan are of two kinds. Those fitan that are restricted to individuals, al-fitnatu al-khassa. And those fitna that could be general, those fitan that he referred to as what? Al-amma. He said the attention we want to give ourselves regarding this is regarding the fitna to al-amma, fitna that will encompass a large number of people. But as for fitnatul khassa, like the Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, tukaffiruha as-salatu was-siyamu was-zakatu wal-amru bil-ma'ruf wal-nahyu anil munkar. So al-fitnatul khassa is less. It is regarding that individual, regarding his family, regarding himself, regarding his friends, regarding his neighbor, regarding his children. So the problem he has regarding this, tukaffiruha as-salatu was-siyam. Salah, siyam will atone for the minor sins in them, except that he has to repent in tawbah for the major sins that he commits in these kinds of fitan that are khassa for him. But as for al-fitnatul amma, they are serious fitan. They are very, very dangerous. They destroy anybody who comes in front of it. Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan, he gave us the answer. He says, La yashkaf ahadun lil fitna. Nobody should come in front of the fitna. He swore by Allah, Ma shakaf laha ahadun illa nasafathu kama yansifu as-sayl mara ad-din. Nobody comes in front of fitna except that he becomes washed away. The waves of a flood wash away manure from the roots of plants. It will wash you away. If you come in front of fitna, fitna will destroy you. May Allah protect all of us. Al-Imam Al-Bukhari, rahimahullah, in Kitab Al-Iman in his Sahih, he has a tabweeb. This tabweeb, I used to be called by that name while I was in the north. Al-Firaru min al-fitnati min al-Iman. Why was I being called like that? Because I say that a lot. Al-Firaru min al-fitnati min al-Iman. It is from the aspect of Iman. When you see fitna, what do? You run away. You know the hadith that Al-Imam Al-Bukhari brought under that chapter heading? The hadith of Isa alayhi salam and Yajuj and Majuj. When Isa alayhi salam defeats Dajjal and Dajjal dissolves as the way the salt dissolves when put in water. When Isa alayhi salam meets him, it will remain the fitna of Yajuj and Majuj. And Isa alayhi salam will be ready to face them. What will he be told? You see these creatures that I have created, you cannot face them or run away. He said, and Imam al-Bukhari picked from this, that the running away of Isa alayhi salam and those who will be with him at the end of time is a run away from fitna. And that will be the position of the people of Iman at that time. So Bukhari said, rahimahullah, al-firaru min al-fitnati min al-iman. I never hear that a fitna is somewhere you see me put my head. You will never see me there. And it didn't start today because my father used to be very, very severe with us. I never joined a protest in my life. Even when I didn't know that it contradicts the sunnah. I never joined a protest. I never joined a protest. I never joined a protest. So you never see me there. In the two universities that I attended, I never joined the protest. I remember a situation in my first university that was in 1993. My father was a friend to a man. The two of them are old men. And the two of them have children in my first university. They did Mr. Macho in our school. So, one cult group won the Mr. Macho. You know what that means? Let's say Vikings won. Buccaneers will not be happy. They started firing in the hall. People were running away. Those people who went to watch that show, the daughter of that Baba, my father's friend, was amongst them. She was in between a desk, school desk, and was pushed from behind. Her chin bone broke into two. That was a Saturday. I was sleeping gently in the hostel. And me, since I was a child. My mother is still alive. If you ask her, she will tell you. We never go out after Salatul Isha. May Allah forgive our dead parents and preserve those amongst them who are still alive. We never go out after Salatul Isha. I got it. After Isha, our father will sit outside with his tasbah. If you come out from here, I will see you. If you come out from here, I will see you. And the question is still so those days, when we want to go and watch football, those matches that we call 9:30, we will come and sit with him. We have a TV, but we like, as young boys, we like to watch the match with the rest of our friends. So we start talking to Daddy, match alone, you say, check it on TV. You know why you say check it on TV? Like you are not going out. So we start telling him, I want to a lot of TV will show. If the TV is not clear, then come and tell me. He will sit down outside till that match is over. Nigeria versus Russia. They said it's CSSR. The point is that girl broke her leg. So it happened that the Sunday in the morning when they went to tell that Baba that your daughter had broken, it was in Uyo, in Akwa Ibom. They went to tell the Baba that your daughter had broken her leg. My father was there. And I was in the same university. There were no telephones at that time, so no text message, no phone calls. So my father told me that when he said he was ready to go, the man said, Alaji, but your son is in that school too. He said, yes. So why are you not worried? He said, my son will not go there. He will not be there. That happened on a Sunday. The third day that followed, my immediate elder sister came to school. She brought food, soup, those things. She brought them to me. So I said, parents came to check their students, their children in the school. Why is it that you people didn't come to check me? She now told me this story. Say, that is okay, they sing them like I wept. I wept when I heard it. I wept. So you could trust me? Up to that extent, my son can never be there. So I've never liked protest. You will not see me there. Meanwhile, the lie they told to that man, they called him Baba Ajayi. The lie they told to him was that students were protesting and she broke her leg. They didn't say, Mr. Macho. In fact, when I knew it was about 11 on Sunday morning when I went to class to read, that was when I knew that I never knew what was happening in school. I don't go out to protest as if we are the we didn't go anywhere. People come to meet us in the hall. We don't go anywhere. I've never participated in a protest shouting, no. At the level of the MSF, one occasion we went to disrupt an exam. And I was the leader of those people who went to disrupt that exam. May Allah protect all of us. So the point here, Ikhwa, is that exam was held at the times of Salatul Jummah. It was against university regulation. It is documented in university annals. If you go and see the record. The people who did that were punished by the university at that time. So may Allah protect us. The fitna is not a thing to be part of at all. And then we come to start understanding that the Sunnah does not want us to be part of protests and demonstrations and all of this. We should keep away from it. Fitans are bad. Fitans are bad. Let's avoid it. May Allah protect us all. We can ask one or two questions before we call it a day today, inshallah. Alaykum salam. What are the methods for the Muslims to correct our leader? Two methods. How do we correct our leader? Two ways. The first way is through an-nasihatul amma, general advice. You are the member, you are the imam of Asurok, Abuja, anywhere. Give general advices. Ayyuhan nas ittaqullah. The imam is there, the president is there too. When you say ayyuhan nas, he is not a jinn, no. So you have mentioned him too. When you say ittaqullah, this one with jama'ah, it does not exempt him. Wa'alamu, and then you people should know أن الأمانة تسأل عنها يوم القيامة, that amana will be asked about on the day of Qiyamah. And then start reading a hadith on amana. You didn't call his name. You are just talking. He is there, he is hearing you too. You can write it in the newspaper. It is good to leaders must do this in Islam. Don't call anybody. Just be talking generally. This is through what is called what? An-nasihatu al-ammatu. General advice. The second way you can advise the ruler is through an-nasihatu al-khassa. Specific nasiha directed to him. How do we do that? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, when any of you wants to advise his leader, let him grab him by his hand. Take him to a corner and tell him what he wants to say to him. He says, فَإِنْ قَبِلَهَا, if he accepts it from who he now, فَبِهَا وَنِعْمَةً, أَدَّيْتَ, you have fulfilled what is required of you of nasiha. If he does not accept it from you, you have done your own. Nowhere in the Sunnah does it say, come out and start telling the leader outside, fear Allah, you this Buhari, fear Allah. If you don't fear Allah, Allah will take you to account. Allah will do this so against you. In fact, everybody will, and then start saying that. No. It is not allowed in our Sharia. Two ways, generally or specifically. Specifically, you take him to the corner. There is one hadith they will quote to. They will say, أفضل الجهاد قول الحق عند السلطان الجائر. Have you heard this hadith before? You would have heard it now. The best of jihad is to say the truth in the sultan al-jair, in front of the oppressive ruler. Ulama say from two angles. Those amongst them who accept that this hadith is sahih. They say the meaning of that is that in the sultan, when you are with him, or you don't know the meaning of zarf, when you are with him, this is the same hadith. If you are with him, you meet Buhari one day, he shoot you, say, and it will be good if you, because my dear brother, many of the people shouting Buhari, if they see Buhari in the face like this, they will forget what they want to say.
Bukhari asked them, what do you want to say? Say, I just like to greet you, sir. Ọmọdé òde bí ẹrù. When you see the paraphernalia of power, when you, before you enter where he is, you'll be looking for flagyl. When they ask you about it, you say, you know, this is a so you're killing you for you, So al-qawl al-haqq inda as-sultan indahu, when you are with him, it does not say come on the minbar shouting in the sultan when you are with him. If you don't pray for him from behind, that is the third way, but it is part of the second one. The making dua for your leader. Oh Allah, this President Bukhari, guide him to that which is best. Make him an easy person. Make him feel what he feels. Direct him. Give him good advice. Protect him against those who will be telling him lies. Do you pray for your president like this? We don't. Wallahi, many people don't. And it is part of Salafiyya and Sunnah that will be praying for our leaders for guidance. Because when he becomes guided, we all will make the benefit from it. And if he remains unguided, it is for the rest of us. So when it starts to say, àwọn olórí wa olórí burúkú ni kò ní dà fún ọ tí ò bá ti dá fún ṣé yóò dá fún wọn ni kò dáadáa o tí ò bá dá fún ṣé yóò ti dá fún ọ sẹ́ni tí ò dá fún ni ó máa jẹrí rẹ sẹ́ni tí ò dá fún ni ó máa dá orí rẹ ìbọn ni ó dorí rẹ lọ kò dá fún o ìbọn ni ó dorí ìṣẹ́ lọ inú òkun ni. May Allah protect us. So these are the ways to get our advices to the leadership. Then we should be filled with a lot of dua. With a lot of dua. Allah guide them. Allah protect them. In Saudi Arabia, if you say Saudi Arabia, go to Saudi Arabia. Do you find any imam making khutbah on any day of Jummah without praying for their leaders? They pray for their leaders like anything. No matter what that leader is doing, they will still be praying that Allah should guide him. Allah should guide him. If he's doing what is bad and you say that Allah should guide him, what does it mean? He should be rectified. That is the meaning. He should be rectified. But if he does what is bad, say, kò ní dá olórí burúkú làwọn olórí wa yìí, okay. You are getting him war. And that's why the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam prohibited cursing the leader. The hadith in Sahih Muslim. And the leaders who will be cursing them. They curse the leaders who curse them. We had one leader who just went away. If you curse him, we curse you back. You say Nigeria is Jagadaga, I say you too Jagadaga, your father is Jagadaga, your grandfather is Jagadaga. That one to curse him again, to curse him again. This kind of a thing is prohibited in Islam. May Allah protect us all. I think it is convenient to stop here because of time. Inshallah, we'll continue. We'll start with the first asl amongst the usul in our next class. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.